thousands less than you originally owed. It's not a loan. It's a way to become debt-free and possibly improve your credit score. So call Trinity and talk to a certified counselor. They'll explain their proven program to you with no pressure, just practical solutions and hope for tomorrow. Take away this added stress today and be there for your family. If you're ready to pay off credit cards in less time for less money, then pick up the phone and call for a free no-obligation debt analysis and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Jet engine maker Rolls-Royce planning to cut 9,000 jobs worldwide as it grapples with the collapse in air travel because of the pandemic.
These job losses, while grim, have been expected for some time. Airlines, which are the Derby-based company's biggest customers, have had most of their fleets grounded for more than 2 months and don't expect passenger numbers to return to pre-crisis levels for several years. Airbus and Boeing have both slashed the numbers of planes they plan to build in the next few years. The company currently employs about 52,000 people worldwide and said that at least 9,000 jobs would go. Although the details of where the cuts will fall have not been finalised, it's likely that about 2/3 will be in the UK.
The BBC's Dominic O'Connell. Japan investigating a possible leak of data, including details of a prototype missile and a massive cyber attack earlier this year on Mitsubishi Electric Corporation. News and analysis, townhall.com. A technical glitch meant that many people didn't get to catch the evening news on one TV network.
No news was not good news for CBS. Viewers on the East Coast and in the Midwest were shut out of their daily fix of the CBS Evening News. The nightly newscast, anchored by Norah O'Donnell, is done in Washington. It was supposed to be sent out through a control room in Washington, but it had technical difficulties and no backup. Instead of seeing the O'Donnell newscast, local stations in the East and Midwest got a feed of the CBSN streaming service. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
Johnson & Johnson ending sales of its iconic talc-based Johnson's Baby Powder in North America. Nearly 20,000 lawsuits have been filed claiming the product causes cancer. Johnson & Johnson says sales of the powder have been on the decline in the U.S. and Canada. Wall Street, Dow futures up 298 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, I'm John Cole with John Cole's Plumbing Professionals. We would like to express our sincere appreciation to all our loyal customers for voting us Best Plumbing Company in this year's 2019 Best of the Pines. We will continue to offer excellent customer service, professional workmanship, and affordable pricing. Don't just call a plumber, call a professional. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals, 910-639-4933.
John Cole's Plumbing Professionals.
Great news, cigar aficionados. Matchbox Cigars and Pipes is still open for business, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and offering curbside pickup. Just call 910-944-7665 and place your order. We'll deliver the same day or the next day with a minimum order of $50. Rest assured, Matchbox is following all guidelines to ensure the utmost safety to our customers. We're located at 15501 and Highway 1 next to the KFC in Aberdeen. So come on down or give us a call, 910-944-7665. Try Zaxby's Cobb Salad, crafted with carrots, Roma tomatoes, cucumbers, crispy bacon, hard-boiled eggs, fried onions, and your choice of grilled or fried chicken. Or try Zaxby's Blue Salad, topped with blue cheese crumbles, zesty fried onions, and your choice of buffaloed or blackened chicken. Both served with a hot and buttery piece of Texas toast. Zaxby's. Friends, family, flavor. Located in Southern Pines off Highway 15501 in front of the Holiday Inn.
Hurricanes, tornadoes, and fire. These are serious situations that we plan in advance for.
The volatility of the market can be just as devastating. When a market correction happens, there are strategies you can employ to bounce back. Call Coach Pete today and we'll help you develop your very own emergency market disaster plan. 800-661-7383, 800-661-7383, or text COACH to 21000.
We're talking with Howard Hoke of Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services. Many homes and businesses in Moore County have stone or dirt driveways. Howard, what would you recommend for an upgrade?
I would definitely go with asphalt. It gives you a beautifully paved driveway that will last for years to come and is easily maintained.
But what if you just wanted to improve an existing driveway?
At Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt Services, we offer asphalt patching, crack filling, seal coat, striping, excavation, and drainage for both residential and commercial customers. We come to your property and assess your needs. Estimates are free. No job is too big or too small.
So go online to slcontractingllc.com or to the Facebook page to see the customer reviews. Call Seven Lakes Contracting and Asphalt at 910-673-1318. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5. 10% discounts for military and first responders.
Neck, shoulder, or back pain can be downright debilitating. If you have those issues, you already know that, and you don't need me to tell you about the opioid crisis. There's another, better way. I'm talking about chiropractic, a healing art that's also science. Dr. Sharon Wright of Wright Chiropractic in Seven Lakes invites you to come in for a discussion about how chiropractic works and could work for you. To be sure, there are many of you out there that have reached the proverbial dead end trying to treat and manage your pain.
This is Dr. Wright. I can't guarantee I can fix every problem, but I will tell you honestly whether chiropractic can be of help for your particular issue. Living with pain is not always the only option. Doesn't it make sense to explore every avenue before resigning yourself to the limitations of pain? Call our office today to schedule a consultation and start living again. 673-2225.
NCN News, I'm Tony Rixby. Rain, and more rain. A rain-producing low having a huge impact on the state this week. State Emergency Management Director Mike Sprayberry says it could be a tough couple of days with a huge possibility of flooding.
Some of our western counties could see several inches of rain before Friday. The National Weather Service has parts of western North Carolina under a moderate potential for flash flooding today and tonight. That risk extends into the Piedmont tomorrow.
Sprayberry says they've placed several swiftwater rescue teams on standby in areas of possible impact. At least 19,844 people in North Carolina have tested positive for coronavirus. The death toll as of this morning standing at 719. As for recovery, State Health and Human Services Secretary Mandy Cohen says there is no clear definition.
CDC has not put out any official guidance on how we should be calculating that estimate, so this is our best attempt at doing that. If the CDC does change the way in which they are estimating, then we may need to change our estimates as well.
As for tracing contacts, Cohen says the state wants to hire 250 people, and counties are also deploying other workers to help. Many restaurants and bars preparing as Governor Cooper is expected to announce Phase 2 of North Carolina's reopening plan later this afternoon. Included in those guidelines, requirements for restaurants to socially distance dining tables at least 6 feet apart, provide up to 50% of capacity in seating, and extra spacing in high-traffic areas. Michael Longo owns Vic's Italian Restaurant in Raleigh, telling WTBD.
There's definitely a lot of rules that we're going to have to look into, and I'll tell you right now, we are not taking this lightly.
You're listening to NCN News.
No doubt, times are tough right now, but we will persevere. Our farming community is doing their part. Nothing is more essential than our food source, and it's a stressful time for all of us. But farmers do what they always do through determination and sacrifice. They provide. Remember now more than ever to thank a farmer for all they do. Farm Credit is dedicated to doing our part to keep farmers farming. Farm Credit. We're farmer strong. Visit us at farmcreditofnc.com.
From fuel to battery power, Steel has been defining the future of outdoor power equipment for over 90 years. With hard-working trimmers, hedge trimmers, chainsaws, and more, Steel products deliver the power professionals need to conquer their workday. And with fleet discounts for qualifying customers, Steel delivers savings too. Steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot, always at a local Steel dealer. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
U.S. births continued to fall last year, leading to the fewest number of newborns in 35 years. CBS News correspondent Bill Rakoff has more.
The number of births in this country fell about 1% over the past 2 years. CDC officials say the coronavirus pandemic probably won't help in turning around the so-called baby bust. One expert suggests that anxiety over the future and the current environment may be making women think twice about having children.
A white South Carolina woman accused of assaulting a black 11-year-old she mistakenly thought was stealing her mail. WRDW-TV's Sydney Heiberger reports.
We're upset and we're angry.
That's how Alice Patterson says her granddaughter Skylar feels after being allegedly assaulted while trying to pick up the mail.
Our parents had to endure this. We had to endure this. We will not have our children go through what we had to go through.
A 38-year-old woman aggressively approached Skylar and demanded her mail back, grabbing and pulling her arms. Attorney Justin Bamberg says,
"We've seen you can't jog while black. We've seen you can't eat ice cream in your own apartment while black. And now you can't get mail while black, even as an 11-year-old child."
A technical glitch meant some people didn't get the news last night. Here's Oscar Wells Gabriel.
No news was not good news for CBS. Viewers on the East Coast and in the Midwest were shut out of their daily fix of the CBS Evening News. The nightly newscast, anchored by Norah O'Donnell, is done in Washington. It was supposed to be sent out through a control room in Washington, but it had technical difficulties and no backup. Instead of seeing the O'Donnell newscast, local stations in the East and Midwest got a feed of the CBSN streaming service. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
More racing tonight at Darlington. Kevin Harvick tries to get 2 in a row. Tony Rixby, NCN News.
This afternoon, we'll head into the upper 50s and upper 60s. With this wide range of temperatures, we're also tracking showers and a few thunderstorms to bring some downpours at times. We have a flood watch in effect. 2 to 4 more inches of rainfall will be possible for us as we head into Thursday. That could certainly cause ponding on the roadways as well as swell some of those streams and rivers. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, we have scattered showers. 55 degrees, humidity 96%, dew point 54, pressure 3003, winds northeast at 10, gusting to 17, visibility down to 2 statute miles, so headlights on. It's 8:14. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Wednesday hump day. Emergency crews were called to a car crash just outside of Pine Bluff early yesterday morning. An SUV caught on fire and was fully involved after crashing into a tree on Pine Bluff Lake Road. The driver fled the scene, but authorities don't believe the motorist was injured. Firefighters were able to extinguish the fire before it could spread to a nearby building. North Carolina's chief health leader is asking residents to hang in there by continuing to comply with the state business restrictions meant to blunt the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Roy Cooper, current stay-at-home order expires Friday. Cooper said this week that he's hopeful future easing of businesses restrictions could begin. State Health and Human Service Secretary Mandy Cohen said Tuesday that testing, tracing, and hospitalization trends used to make decisions on stay-at-home orders continue to be stable. Still, Cohen's agency reported 675 new virus cases and 30 additional deaths in North Carolina on Tuesday, compared to a day earlier. That's your WEEB news this morning from the Sand Hills Sentinel. You can go online to sandhillsentinel.com for more information. It is 8:16, time for sports. That's next right here on 97.3FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Heavy rains postponed the Xfinity Series return to Darlington last night. The race was called off after waiting for about 2 hours, and it has been moved to Thursday at noon. Meanwhile, Knotson's Richard Petty won his 200th and final race in 1984 as NASCAR run a premier race on a Wednesday, but that's exactly what we're poised to get tonight. Cross your fingers, hoping for no more showers in Darlington. But one of the busiest weeks at that track will continue tonight with another Cup Series race, the second in 4 days. Kevin Harvick will try for a sweep at Darlington after winning Sunday's return to NASCAR racing after a 10-week shutdown, but he'll have to try and do that by overcoming a start from the back row. The field is being inverted for tonight's run. Harvick will be in the 20th position. Ryan Preece is the pole sitter based on his 20th place finish on Sunday. Kurt Busch finished third, and he's at the back of the line as well. He says quick pit stops will be the key to gaining track position.
The way that the stages are set up for Wednesday, we could have a very, very long run, but we have to make adjustments to battle hard for a race win.
The NFL has told all 32 teams that they may proceed with limited openings based on the state's restrictions meant to combat the coronavirus. Meanwhile, the new NFL Players Association president says he doesn't know when players will be allowed to return to the training facilities. Cleveland Browns center J.C. Tretter said he's not willing to guess on what the NFL might look like when they're back on the field.
Our priority is always going to be the health and safety of the players, and there's a long list of hurdles we have to get over and things we have to watch and check, and we just continually seek out information to be informed.
Tom Brady isn't letting the coronavirus or NFL rules against players working out of team facilities keep him from preparing for a new season with a new team. Brady gathered with some of his Bucs teammates on a high school field yesterday for a throwing session. He wore a Bucs helmet and an orange jersey over his shoulder pads. No one yelled at him. This is NCN Sports.
Help us serve you. North Carolina retailers aren't just the backbone of the local economy. They are the first ones to step up to support your Little League teams, your booster clubs, and to step in with product donations in times of need. So please shop NC. You hold the power to help North Carolina's retailers rebound faster by choosing to spend your dollars in North Carolina. The NC Retail Merchants Association proudly represents these dedicated retailers and encourages you to shop NC. Learn more at ncrma.org.
I'm Sean Harding, President of North Carolina Farm Bureau. During this difficult time, helping customers is our top priority. That's why North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance is returning $22 million to automobile policyholders and temporarily delaying cancellations and expirations. At Farm Bureau, we're in the people business, and I want you to know that we're here for you. And that's our promise. Helping you is what we do best.
The NHL is still more than a week away from determining a return to the play. That word comes from a person familiar with the discussions, and what the plan resembles could be complicated further should the U.S. and Canada extend border restrictions to non-essential travel into July. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced border restrictions will stay in effect through at least June 21st. The NFL is testing new face mask prototypes to protect players from the coronavirus. According to NBC, the modified breathable coverings for helmets are made from the same material as N95 masks and are expected to cover the player's entire face mask. Traditionally, the final leg of horse racing's Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes, will be run on June 20th as the first leg. The Kentucky Derby and the Preakness Stakes have been moved to the fall because of the coronavirus. The Belmont will be run at the 1 1/8 rather than its usual 1.5 mile distance. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Don't have a family member in the insurance business? Call us first. First Casualty Insurance Group. We represent over 36 outstanding companies and can provide you with the right insurance at a cost that makes sense. Let's have a look. We'll do a top-to-bottom review, and it won't cost you a cent. Your place or ours, there's no obligation. Get the coverage you need at a price that makes sense. Just call 910-692-8303. For over 30 years, our customers know where insurance is concerned, you should always think first. First Casualty Insurance Group, Southern Pines. 910-692-8303.
The wait is finally over. Pinehurst Toyota's new state-of-the-art building is now open. We're making it easier than ever to buy your next car. With every Pinehurst Toyota purchase, you get the Pinehurst Toyota Advantage Plan. That includes our 3-day exchange policy, a lifetime limited powertrain warranty, 2 years no-cost maintenance, free car washes, complimentary loaners, and so much more, all at no extra cost to you. Stop in today to browse over 350 new, certified, and quality pre-owned vehicles. Our highly trained staff is ready to give you more for your trade and get you into your new car faster and easier than ever before. The best time to buy is right now. Visit PinehurstToyota.com to shop our entire inventory, get pre-approved, take advantage of our monthly service specials, or schedule your next service appointment. Pinehurst Toyota is open 7 days a week or anytime at PinehurstToyota.com. No cost maintenance provided by Toyota Care. See dealer for complete details.
At Pool Automotive, being local and family-owned isn't just a title. It's the lifeblood of our business. The moment you walk into our Aberdeen showroom, you'll be treated like family. You see, we believe that all our guests deserve quality, reliable used vehicles, and we have the inventory and finance options to make it happen. When you buy a new vehicle, the second you drive it off the lot, it's already depreciated by thousands. Before you throw that money away, come to Pool Automotive and check out our huge selection of premium vehicles. We have high-quality, off-lease vehicles, most of which are one-owner cars with low mileage and remaining factory warranties. Something else we do to save you even more? We don't charge documentation fees. Yep, you heard us right. No doc fees here. Come in today, 500 South Sandhills Boulevard in Aberdeen, or call 910-637-0057 and experience the Pool advantage.
You know they're out there. You know. You can't see them.
Can't see.
You can't hear them.
Can't hear.
But you know they're there.
They're there.
Termites. You know they're hungry.
Starving.
And you know your house is their main course. So you know you have to do something.
What can you do?
It's really quite simple. You ask for Termador, the unique treatment that wipes out 100% of the termites in your home in 3 months or less. Every last termite dead.
Bye-bye.
For a long, long time. Now you know. Only Termador is 100% effective against termites in 3 months or less. So ask for Termador by name from your pest control company. Because if you're not asking for Termador, you're asking for trouble.
Termador is available at Aberdeen Exterminating. Call 944-2474. That's 944-2474.
If you're like most folks, you love your home. You love your neighborhood and those that live around you. But when you go inside your home, you see that it is in need of a massive updating, especially those bathrooms, kitchen, and great room. You know that these areas need upgrading, but you also know what a task it is to do it yourself. Hi, I'm Steve Leader Adams, and I've built over 2,000 homes, and I and my partner Larry Posterwaite have over 70 years of construction experience and have our own remodeling business called Relive It Remodeling. We also pride ourselves on making remodeling jobs an easy and enjoyable process for our clients. We look after everything from permits to the last paint stroke. We also show up when we promise and stay until completion. And we also recycle any materials through the Wounded Warrior program. And here's one more promise. Nobody, and I mean nobody, does better quality work than we do. For your next renovation job, give me a call right here at WEEB at 692-7440 or check us out on the web at relivitremodeling.com.
Some things just go together, like bread and butter, blue jeans and Saturdays, best friends and phone calls. And a great match? You and discounts from Erie Insurance. It's like this. Safety features in your car will have you paying less for your auto insurance. And pay off your Erie auto policy all at once, and you'll save up to 7% more. On your homeowner's policy, you earn discounts that start at age 46 and go up each time you celebrate a birthday. There are more discounts, too, for things like home safety features and even teenage drivers. And the savings keep adding up. When you have your auto and home covered with Erie, you get a discount. Buy a life policy with us, and the savings can get even better. At Erie Insurance, above all in service means making life a little easier on you and on your wallet. Your Erie agent in Moore County is Carthage Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 910-947-2957.
Discount terms and amounts may vary by state. See your local Erie agent for details.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt zone. How long can you keep giving someone the benefit of the doubt? How long are we, you and I, supposed to sit down and be quiet and just blindly accept whatever little bit of information we're given? Have you been on the Moore County Health Department's webpage dashboard? The dashboard's the place where they direct you to go for information about COVID. Now, I know it's easy to criticize, and I get it, they have a lot going on. But that dashboard looks like it was put together by a second grader. It's pathetic, and you know what? I don't blame them. I blame their boss. Hire someone to fix it. And when you get it fixed, Give us some information about the victims here in Moore County. Why can't you do that? I don't want their dang Social Security number. How many are sick? How many of those are in nursing homes? How are the folks in nursing homes doing? How many of the sick have recovered? Give us the ages of every sick person and how they're doing by age. Tell us the circumstances behind every death, blah, blah. John Glenn's wife died yesterday. She was a national treasure, and we all loved her. But for crying out loud, she was 100 years old. Don't count that as a COVID-19 death, trying to scare people. Can anyone tell me why a small county like Moore County, with a full-time public health director, can't give us this information? And why aren't we hearing anything from our state representatives? Someone say something. Am I the only one who wants to know here in the Zumwalt zone?
We'll see temperatures for this afternoon head into the upper 50s and upper 60s. More rain will be possible. It will also be breezy at times, with the breeze moving in from the north and east. A flood watch is in effect for our area because 2 to 4 more inches of rainfall will be possible. Heading into tomorrow, we'll see rain sticking around and highs in the upper 50s and mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us. You want to be a millionaire?
Who dares to be a millionaire?
Happy National Be a Millionaire Day.
I know exactly how we should celebrate.
What would you need? $1 million. $1 million?
Actually, after taxes, the amount you will receive is
A lot less than $1 million.
taxes. I don't pay no taxes.
Happy National Be a Millionaire Day.
Showtime.
Growing up, she said, just as we had started to climb together.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It's time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, fresh off of, how many hours did I say it was? 3 hours and 16 minutes of fresh sleep, according to the Fitbit. And thanks to the POS Power Company, I had to get up 2 hours earlier today. Anyway, along with me this morning, of course, is the Colonel, retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, yeah, good morning, Moore County. Good morning, unfortunate Aberdeen, as the pilot's pathetic pamphlet refers to you. Make sure you step out there at the end of your driveway, pick that piece of trash up. It's prepackaged for you. It's already in a plastic bag. Pick it up so it doesn't wash into the watershed and flow downstream and cause problems in the ocean. And, you know, pick that thing up and get it in the trash can.
Or you could run over it a few times so water leaks in it.
Squeeze it out first.
And then
right.
call them up and say, I got a wet newspaper. Bring me another one. Won't cost much gas because it doesn't weigh much.
Well, I don't know. Did they have somebody there to answer the phone for them? I don't know.
I don't know. Don't forget, of course, we're being heard and seen around the world on the live video stream. That's up and running and available to you at our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com. Either one will get you to the right place. The link's right there in the top middle of the page. If you're on a mobile device, you can fire up YouTube and put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search to get to where you want to be. If you're on your mobile device, just want an audio stream, fire up a streaming app such as TuneIn, iTunes, or Streama, and put WEEB into the search. Many other streams will work also. Like I said, put WEEB in the search to get the results there right there at the top. And if you're on your on our website at talk973.com or talk1041.com, you can go to the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages where the icon says on the air, listen live. Click it once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area. It's just going to be cloudy with a chance of rain today, tonight, tomorrow night. Friday, we drop it to a 30% chance of showers. And over the weekend, a 20% chance of showers and partly cloudy. High today, 63. Tonight, 59. Tomorrow, 74. 82 on Friday. 81 on Saturday. And Sunday, 81. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are east-northeast of 10, gusting to 17 miles per hour. Visibility is down to 2 statute miles. Pressure 3003, 2.54, humidity 96%. We have scattered showers and 55 degrees here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:31 past the hour on this Wednesday hump day. And, of course, when it's hump day, it means John Zumwalt's in the studio. Good morning, John.
Good morning, and good morning, everybody. Well, I'm a little fired up this morning. I came in here with intention of talking about one thing, and I'm still going to, but I picked up the trash out of the yard. Steve's.
Thank you. I don't have to pick it up this week.
Well, you're certainly welcome. And I believe in knowing what the bad guys are doing. We're the good guys. And I looked at the pilot's opinion page, and let me tell you something. I've never, ever seen such a piece of trash. Well, that's a lie, because you know what? I can think back on many editorials these clowns have written. A lot of them were just as bad, maybe worse. Oh, by the way, this paper costs $1. This pamphlet, you can get the Sand Hill Sentinel free. I wouldn't read a thing in this newspaper or this pamphlet, this pathetic pamphlet, if I didn't want to know what they were saying so we could tell you. Now, a lot of people will read this and they'll believe it just because it's in the paper. The headline of this little pathetic editorial says, "Enforce the law, not your politics." And they're criticizing Sheriff Fields and District Attorney Kruger because they recently said that we're not going to go after people who worship in church. Now, I suppose the pilot is unaware that that same amendment protects the free press. And if they were to, if the sheriff or the district attorney were to say anything at all about not going after the press, that would be fine with them, no matter what kind of an edict that the governor issued. You two, you three, however many of you make up your editorial board are pathetically pitiful. You had the nerve to write enforcement of law and order is not equal in Moore County. Would they have taken these positions if Republican Pat McCrory was still governor? Doubtful. No, it is doubtful, and they would not have. And I'll tell you why. Because a Republican governor wouldn't have been involved in this kind of stupid foolishness that I don't know what your IQs are, so I can't call you what I want to call you, idiots, but you would not have accused that. No, this discussion would not be going on under a Republican governor. You have written about the sheriff, and you've written about the DA because you have a vendetta, because you have another, we all know, you and I know, pilot, you and at least two of your reporters that I'm not going to name here know exactly what's going on. Shame on you. Would you like for the sheriff to kick the door down of a church, you imbeciles, and slam people down to the ground? Would that have made you happier? Let me read you verbatim what the Constitution of North Carolina says. This should be very clear to you, and hopefully you can understand this, but I doubt it. In Section 13, this is a direct quote, religious liberty. All persons have a natural and inalienable right to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their own conscience. Now get this part. And no human authority shall in any case whatever control or interfere with the rights of conscience. Now, I really do get it. I really do truly understand now why the pilot never takes a stand on anything involving schools, involving what appears to be crooked undertakings, involving anything until WEEB exposes it first, or the Sand Hill Sentinel does. You guys are totally inept. I don't know how in the world anybody would ever pay $1 for that pamphlet. And when I browsed through the rest of it, all there were little stories like you might find in the newspaper of a middle school paper. It was very well done for a middle school paper. Look, neither the DA nor the sheriff said they would not enforce the law. They said they would not enforce laws that were unconstitutional. This law is clearly unconstitutional. You don't have to be an attorney to read that. Maybe you guys should hire an attorney so that you can have it read to you. And as a matter of fact, as you know, a judge has ruled the same thing. He's put a stay on that for 14 days. So you guys are disgusting, pitiful, trying to accuse the sheriff of only enforcing laws he wants to enforce and the DA of enforcing things she wants to enforce. Both of them clearly said, we will not enforce something that is unconstitutional. That's why we have public officials. I guess that explains why you guys are in favor of having them trample on our Second Amendment rights as well. First Amendment, first it was the Second Amendment, now it's the First Amendment. We've got to stop this, folks. We've got to. Do not read the pathetic pilot. Don't pay $1 for that trash.
Well, you know, they endorsed both those candidates. Now they turn on them.
Yeah, well, no, they didn't. They never endorsed the DA.
Okay, they endorsed the sheriff.
Yeah.
In the election, now they don't like him, I guess.
Well, there's no rhyme or reason to anything they do except as long as it will make them get a little bit more advertising or if it's a liberal. Anyway, pathetic pamphlet. Let me get on to what I wanted to talk about. As you know, the governor has decided that he might, I think he's going to announce it today, allow restaurants to open on Saturday, the 23rd.
Right. I believe he's going to announce it right after reading time with the public.
Yeah.
You know, because since he treats everybody like a third grader.
Yeah. Well, he's going to make that announcement. Well, listen, first of all, if you're a businessman, don't you think, no, forget if you're a businessman. If you're listening and you're thinking about the restaurant business, don't you reckon they need a little bit of time? Don't you think their employees need some time to arrange for babysitters and to whatever other thing that they've arranged to give them some notice and to get back with their employer and get the place cleaned up and get all the masks ready and all the hundreds of things they've got to do for logistics? He's got to wait till today. And we don't even know for sure if he's going to extend it. Well, let me tell you, while we're on this subject, Pete's Restaurant in Carthage, Governor, this is Pete's Restaurant in Carthage is going to open. It's going to open Saturday. Come hell, high water, rain, flood, we'll have tents out there. The lieutenant governor to be the man who's running for lieutenant governor, who I pray you will support. He will be there, Mark Robinson. Most of you have seen him on the YouTube video that went viral. He's the great Second Amendment champion. He'll be there. There'll be a band there. I forget the name of the band. Somebody.
Oh, Blackwater?
I think it's Dark Horse.
Dark Horse. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of somebody else.
Well,
Yeah, Dark Horse.
See, we get old and we at Blackwater, Dark Horse.
Well, he gets off on the Doobie Brothers song.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
But if you haven't heard these guys, they are amazing, and I hope you'll come hear them. It's free, and there'll be tents out there, and we're making accommodations for parking. Pete is going to comply with all the ridiculous, stupid laws that he's got to comply with. He's going to go overboard and be very, very cautious.
Actually, they're not laws. They're just the whim of the governor.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that, because they're not laws. They're something that the governor arbitrarily put in place. We'll get on with that in a minute. Now, guidelines are just guidelines, but they have to follow them, and they want to follow them. Pete wants to do what's right. But I want you to listen to some of these, and this came right off of the interim guidance for restaurants from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. I didn't make any of this up. It's right off their guidelines. And it says that social...
You've got to preface that, because you can't make them safe without government telling you how to do so.
Yeah, that's correct. All right. The guidance... how would you like to try to talk with every 2 minutes? Pete going, anyway, all right. Where was I? Okay. So restaurants are required, the word required, to arrange tables and seating to achieve at least 6-foot separation between parties for indoor and outdoor separation. Okay, let me just say a word about that 6-foot separation that we're all treat like Moses went up on the mountain and came down with the 11th commandment that said 6 feet and it came from our Lord. No. Here's what happened. If you've ever worked in any type of bureaucracy, in the military or in government, you know that a group of men and women went to a room, sat around a table, probably had some doctors in there, and they said, what would be a good distance? And someone said, well, how about 6 feet? Because that's practical. Okay, 6 feet. They wrote it down. Like a germ is going to, at 5 foot 11 inches, slam on the brakes. Oh my gosh, I almost went past 6 feet. Now think about it further. If you're 6 feet apart at your table and you're in a restaurant and you stand up and the other person stands up, you pull your chair, you're right together. You're right together. You're right together just like you would be right together if you happen to be at Lowe's or at a grocery store or at a hardware store or walking through the parking lot, and that air, hang on, that air that you breathe is, do you think that somehow magically stays within that 6 foot radius? And do you think that anyone's going to be wearing a mask while they're eating? That 6 foot distance is just a fake shark repellent to make you feel like you're safe. If you think your breath can't reach 3 feet and the other guy's breath can't reach 6 feet, both of you can breathe 3 feet and they're combining together. They've got air conditioners on, the wait staff's walking around the table moving that air. Or has the governor invented some magic way to magically just stop all this if you're 6 feet apart? Listen, a restaurant can have no more than 50% capacity anytime they're open. Now, again, I think that's an arbitrary number. How does the governor know they couldn't have 6 feet, apart and still have more than 50%? I'm going to tell you something that you probably instinctively know. Restaurants cannot make money at 50% capacity. They make a living at 100% capacity. They're lucky if they have 70 or 80. But 50% capacity dictated to them by law, they can never have a time when they're full standing room. They can't make money like that. That's not how they make money. And the governor knows this. We're going to have lots of turmoil before this election if the governor has his way. They have to post the reduced emergency maximum capacity in English and in Spanish. So I can't go into a restaurant if they haven't posted the emergency maximum capacity. What do I care what it is? What do I care? As long as they know, who cares? All right. They've got to post signs all around the place telling us about social distancing, which they want to become a new buzzword. I'm sick of it. Stay 6 feet away from me if you want to. I don't blame you. Look at me. But for crying out loud, you're not going to die if you get within 5 feet of me. Make a 6 foot line on the floor. They've got to do that. And the one thing that really gets me, folks, this phrase, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. Well, if we're all in this together, let's get out of it together. Let our supreme leader leave us alone. Let us get haircuts. He's smart enough, he believes, to make a decision about whether or not he can get a haircut and where he can get it. Well, you know what? I'm smart enough too, so let me. You're shredding this nation. Can't people see what's happening? How have we been so blinded? And you know what? Churches are the worst. We've had our Moore County Sheriff and our Moore County DA that churches are protected. And the governor can't violate this Constitution, no matter how much he wants to, and no matter what the pathetic pamphlet says about this. And yes, that's exactly what they did. They said you couldn't worship there. Well, a judge has overridden the governor, and most churches won't open because they're afraid. And these are the same folks. Look, don't fuss at me. I've been a Christian since I can remember, since I was 5 years old. I've gone to church for however many years I've been going during these 70 years, which is a lot. So I do not badmouth Christians. I love Christians. But how can you sit in church and say, oh, we love Jesus, we love the Lord, we trust God. Anything happens, we just close our eyes and pray, and then run blindly the first time something happens where we should be calling on God. Let me read to you from the pamphlet, if I've got it, and I think I do, that was put out about churches. I should have had this right on top. I'm sorry. I'm going to blame the power outage. Looks like I did not bring it. Oh, yeah, I did. Here's what
I was going to say, we can't find good help anymore, can we?
Well, I don't have it, but what happened was a man and a woman went to church, and I'm not this is from the CDC's website. And when they went to church, later on, 35 people came down with COVID-19. And so several people in CDC apparently got whiplash running to print this pamphlet up that they printed up. And they said that 2 symptomatic people attended gatherings in a small Arkansas church in early March. And of the 92 church members who attended, 35 were later confirmed to have COVID-19. And that led to 3 deaths. Well, through their genius ability to be detectives, through their amazing powers of figuring things out, they figured out that these guys caught this at church. Now, if you went to church last Sunday, in the preceding week or 2 or 3 or 4 or however long it took them to contact this to become symptomatic, and it takes a while, you might have gone to the grocery store, to Walmart, to look at lawnmowers, to the Lowe's food line. You might have pushed a cart that had something on it. How on earth did they figure out in 10 minutes that these guys got this at the church? Listen, if one reason more folks are being detected with COVID-19 is because they've increased testing, and they're bragging about how they've increased testing and how good that is, and yet when they find more people, oh my gosh, they're amazed. All right, let me get back to restaurants. Get off churches.
We did have one person write in say a federal judge agreed with the DA and Ronnie. Why wasn't the headline federal judge overturned Scooper? Agrees with sheriff and DA. Well, because the pilot is political.
Yeah, it's the pathetic pilot. That's why. Yeah. Well, I'm sure they probably broke a couple of fingers stabbing at the phone, dialing to Cooper to let him know that Pete's is going to open this Saturday.
Oh, I hope they do.
So he'll extend his order one more week just to.
Yeah. Probably.
Just to be a Democrat.
Well, I hope you'll come out and support Pete. I admire him greatly.
Not the pathetic pilot. Everybody else.
Yeah.
Will come out and support Pete.
Well, the pilot will come out and take pictures if they can develop them. Or get them
they'll come out and go, needy, needy, boo-boo.
Yeah. Well, they'll take a picture of the dumpster and say what a dump it is. But, that's...
Well, some of them will be there to write a derogatory story. But... let me get back to the restaurant thing again. And by the way, all this stuff about you've got to put it in English and Spanish, what kind of... All right. It's encouraged that businesses provide face covering for employees and customers. Who on the face of this earth, except in Saudi Arabia, is going to go into a restaurant to eat with a face covering on? All right, it's time for me to say this, and I'm very, very serious about this, and I really hope that you'll know my heart on this. There are some people who should not go out. I'm 70. I've told you that 1,000 times. I'm in the danger zone. I'm choosing to go out, and the reason I'm in the danger zone is not to catch it, but to die from it. And if you have certain symptoms and certain things wrong with you, I say sincerely to you, you should stay home. You should stay home, whether it takes a year or 6 months. You should stay home until this thing's licked. But the rest of us, we have an obligation to go out and fight this war, to try to take care of our economy. It's crazy for us to think we can stay home. Oh, and here's the one that gets me. Probably more than anything else of the governor's whole entire edict is this. A restaurant, now remember, this is a man's business. Let's just take Pete. Pete came here from Greece. He has made a great success of himself. He's a very effective and successful businessman, entrepreneur. He's what we should emulate. He came to America to avoid this very kind of thing that he's being subjected to now. Restaurants, it's recommended, it's not required, that they designate a specific time for persons at a higher risk to access a restaurant without the general population. And they recommend early morning or late afternoon. You know what? If you're too sick or you're too afraid or you're too much of a risk to go eat, don't go eat. But don't expect the rest of us to have, and you know what? I'm fussing at the wrong people. I don't think they do expect us to. I don't think the people who are at risk expect to have a special time for them. This is something that these people sitting around the table.
That's the government being PC.
It's the government. It's the people sitting around the table making recommendations.
It's also people that get a paycheck every week.
Yep. This whole thing about not being able to do certain things, I got to tell you something. I drove to Myrtle Beach this weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. It was like going to another country. It was the most wonderful thing. You could go to a restaurant and sit down. We went to a fine restaurant. We sat down, and we're served. And the waiter and the waitresses talked to us. The people at the next table talked to us. And guess what? A large number of them, the people we ran into, were from North Carolina. And they were all talking about the same thing. Isn't this amazingly wonderful? You could go to a bar, and it was business as usual. People were talking, they were laughing, they were having a good time. Went to the beach. It was amazing to be out on the beach in the bright, healing, wonderful, virus-killing sunlight, seeing people happy, not worrying about things, going to stores. I bought a pair of shoes, went to the store, and it was just great. I mean, it was just wonderful. And then we come back to North Carolina. It's like crossing the line into another country. It's just amazing. We have got to, look, everybody understands that the virus is a bad thing. Now, let me get off on another kick here. What does our director of the health department here do? I've tried very, very hard not to get on this guy too much because I know he's got a lot to do, but for crying out loud, give us some information, buddy. You're doing a terrible job. You're doing an awful job, and we need information. I talked about that on the ZZ this morning. All right. Meanwhile, while we've got so many people who are out of work, need money, I talked to people yesterday who have no money. Their unemployment hasn't kicked in. They said they had $9 in the bank. They're hurting. Meanwhile, you ready for this? Planned Parenthood applied for and received $80 million. Now,
it was 37 Planned Parenthoods, and I think it was $800 million. It was a lot of money.
It might have been more than that. Pennsylvania's health director, secretary, I'm reading this straight off I just got it from somebody I trust very much. Pennsylvania's health director, Dr. Rachel Levine, I'm not being funny. I'm not sure which because I know there was a change there, and I'm not sure what. But anyway, is making health policy decisions for Pennsylvania. But she, or he, forgive me, took her own mother out of the older care facility. You might have read about this when they decided corona was a problem. And she took her own mother out, spirited her away. All right, I've got to tell you this. The Seattle City Council, these are people who people have elected. The Seattle City Council is calling for $100 million relief, a $100 million relief for illegal aliens. Now, they call them illegal immigrants, and as you know, I say no. Immigrants came here just like my ancestors did. They came here legally, and they applied to be here, and they came here right. They're not illegal. You know how much money we should give an illegal alien? Nothing, just enough to get him out of town. All right. A Virginia family, here's some good news. If you haven't heard this one, this will surprise you. A Virginia family were sick and tired of being left at home, so they got they had a pickup truck. and that should tell you they're good people. And they almost ran over 2 bags that were lying in the street. So instead of just letting it go, they were good citizens. They got out, they threw it in the back of the truck, we're going to throw it in the trash, and got home. And guess what the bags were full of?
Cash.
Money.
Yeah.
And it said on each bag, cash vault. So they did something that, this would be a good question for Steve to ask the Colonel. How many people, if they found $1 million in the street, would turn it in?
That's what they found, $1 million in cash.
$1 million in cash.
I would turn it in because they're going to track it down. They're going to know who got it.
They'll find it,
They'll see a sudden rise in your checking account to try to get it into
But if they couldn't track it down, you wouldn't turn it in.
Yeah, I'd turn it in.
Yeah. Well, I would
integrity.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, believe me, I would turn it in because I've seen so many movies about it's the mob's money, and
that's the other consideration.
And they always track you down, and then they put your head in a vice. I don't want any part of that.
They somehow know you got it before you get home.
Right.
But they contact the sheriff's department wherever they were, and Virginia, and the sheriff's department came out and picked up the $100 and counted it. But last thing I want to say is this. The Department of Transportation, North Carolina, we all hate them. We all hate them. You know they're $300 million behind budget, and they're blaming the pandemic, and they're having to lay people off. They're pitiful. They're not held to their budget. You know what a budget is? It's something you make a plan and you stick to it. Unlike our school board, for example, that just makes a spending plan, no budget, because if they need more money, they just go get it. All right, I was all over the place today. Thank you for
because they're government. They can get away with being off budget.
I was all over the place today. I had a lot to say, and the pathetic pamphlet surprised me. By the way, where is Jamie Bowles, McInnes, and our Moore County commissioners? Where are they? Are they getting some of this money? Why aren't they speaking out? One way or the other. Whatever you've got to say, folks.
They're getting a government paycheck, I can tell you that.
Crickets. That's all you're hearing from them. Crickets.
All right, so it goes.
Thank you
for this Wednesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a Thumping Thursday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airwaves, because they contribute to this economy here year after year, and to this station year after year. And it's time for us to support them with our give them first crack at your spending dollars, because when you do, the money will roll over, create jobs for all of us, and the economy will grow here locally. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams, and the Leader Man and Nick and Colt the Dog. We'll all see you at 2 this afternoon at the Wet Dog Park.